Another World, known originally as Out of This World in America, was first released in 1991, and for many, myself included, it's one of the fonder childhood gaming memories. In 2006, a 15th anniversary edition was released featuring enhanced visuals, as well as loads of great extras. This re-release is for some an opportunity to stroll down memory lane, while for many others it's an opportunity to experience for the first time one of the coolest games ever made. Another World tells the story of a scientist called Lester who finds himself on a bizarre alien planet after an experiment goes awry. Lester finds this planet extremely hostile as all kinds of crazy animals and hideous monsters try to make him into dinner. Even the intelligent humanoid beings seem to want him dead, and it's in one of these beings that Lester finds a friend, the two united through their common aims of survival and escaping from their new prison. Although the two cannot communicate with words, it's clear through the few cutscenes and through their actions in the game that they come to care a great deal for each other, and the final sequence is easily one of the best in gaming history. Not a word is spoken, but the emotion is clear, and the ending is ambiguous, which is very rare for a game released in any year, and the player will leave the game with something to actually think about. Another World is a 2D platformer, the kind that will be immediately familiar to anyone who's played Prince of Persia. The game is half and half combat and puzzler, requiring both quick reactions and problem-solving ability. One or two of the puzzles are actually genuinely difficult, even for a semi-intelligent 24-year-old who's already played the game. Modern gamers are so often so spoon-fed that it comes almost as a shock to play a game that actually requires a little bit of thought. What little gunplay there is pretty cool, and actually kind of tactical. Your pistol fires basic laser rounds, but you can also overcharge it to generate a temporary shield in front of you, but you can also super overcharge it to destroy enemy shields, as well as some walls and doors. So combat is a mixture of recharging your shield, trying to destroy your enemy's shield, and blasting insanely at your enemy once his shield is down. It's a pretty cool mixture of activities that you need to juggle, and it makes every firefight exciting, especially as there are no health bars. One-shot kills. Unlike many other games of the early 90s, Another World tries to maintain a high level of immersion by avoiding an on-screen HUD as well as on-screen text messages as a narrative device. While the story is pretty scant, it's told through some beautiful visual scenes. But the immersion only goes so far, as you'll probably find yourself dying repeatedly. While this may become very tedious, especially for a modern gamer not used to games built around a trial and error mechanic, if you can come to accept it as an integral element of the game's design, you may even find yourself embracing it and enjoying it. There are just so many different ways of dying that simply finding them all can be a pleasure. These 2D platformers are the progenitor of games like Tomb Raider, and like Tomb Raider, finding every conceivable way of killing the protagonist is almost a game in itself. Although you can play with the original visuals if you so choose, this remake of Another World features beautifully redrawn environments, and the game is playable at much higher resolutions. Like Prince of Persia, the game features rotoscoping, making the animations extremely fluid and lifelike. As impressive as they were in the early 90s, the fact that they hold up extremely well against modern standards makes the animations all the more impressive. The visual facelift notwithstanding, the game has aged extremely well considering how old it is. The artistic style as a whole is very minimalistic, but it's hard to find it unappealing even if you're used to maxing out games like Crysis. What it lacks in quality more than makes up for in style. The game itself is fairly short, only a few hours long, and much of that will be spent dying and reloading. But this Anniversary Edition features some neat extras. There's a fascinating making of video documentary chronicling the one-man development of the game, and you'll also find a technical manual which is a little bit too technical for me and also in French. But there's also an annotated in English design document which shows the kind of thought processes involved during the game's development, and you'll also find a complete soundtrack. Another World is simply one of the coolest games ever made, and this 15th anniversary edition is a golden opportunity to own an important piece of gaming history. Not only is it a lot of fun to play, it has a story so well told that words are unnecessary, and its visual overhaul makes the game extremely appealing despite its clear simplicity. It is a game that everyone should play.